Greetings and salutations, my friends. Today we are going to talk about cats, specifically the 5 rescue kittens that we've recently acquired. This is my lovely wife Emma, and she is the cat whisperer. She is the expert in this area. But today we just want to talk to you about sort of the history of what happened when we've sort of found them and rescued them, how the feeding and stuff is going. Going to offer you some tips if you're ever in this position or something that you're interested in doing, offer you some product advice and some stuff going forward, and then how to move on to the next stages of weaning and potty training and all that sort of stuff. So without further ado, do you want to talk about how we acquired 5 kittens?
Okay, so about a week ago, we were contacted by, you've probably read this on Patreon, but a guy was out doing like a hike walk, found a litter of kittens in an abandoned building. 4 kittens were dead and there was 1 alive. So thankfully he lifted it and brought it to ourselves. Now we don't know where Mum is. There's a lot of stray cats around that area, so it would have been too dangerous to just leave the kitten for Mum to come back.
Well, she might have been spooked or something.
Exactly, and it just was too risky. And by the time the kitten came to us, it was gasping for milk. So I'm assuming only a few hours old when we got it. So yeah.
So we thought, okay, we've got a cat, right? Yeah. Emergency stations, let's get it sorted.
Yep.
Then the next day we got 4 more.
My friend called out and was like, "Hey!" Pulled back a blanket, 4 kittens. So 4 kittens found at a local business. I'm assuming like their building yard or whatever. The mum had been knocked down and these 4 kittens had been left. So they lifted the kittens and brought them to ourselves. So they were a few days older. They're about 10 days old now. And Cole is about a week, our first cat.
Yeah, the Molly, because she likes to bury herself under everything and stuff. So we want to talk to, we've taken some B-roll that I'll sort of put over this video, but basically about sort of the feeding process and everything and the products and stuff that we use that we found, because like if you want to tell a bit about your history about rescuing, you're it's tiny bit obsessive.
So I've been a crazy cat lady all my life. First kind of litter kittens that I ever bottle fed, I was about 10 years old, so that's like 10 years ago, /30. So yeah, that was my first experience and I loved it. It was really difficult, but I loved it. My mum, where she worked at the time, a lot of stray cats and a lot of stray kittens, so I was there to help out during my summer holidays. And from then on, I was always had cats at home anyway, and I just kind of became really interested and wanted to do like work and rescue and stuff, and that's where it all began 30 years ago.
Yeah, so lots of experience. So obviously we work with the local charity that we contact, that we get a lot of the cats through. It's mainly cats. Yeah. It's worse from now on, isn't it? It's like the winter is pretty quiet because cats generally don't have litters of kittens in the winter.
Yeah.
So now we're coming into the spring and summer is when sort of cat season arrives, especially. That's why everybody should get their cats neutered, okay? If you've got a cat, especially if it goes outside, you don't want it running off shagging all the time. Yes. Just get it neutered. Please get it neutered. Anyway, rant over. So, as for feeding, obviously they're just getting fed milk at the moment. This is the product that we use. As much, I'm going to... Okay, you cannot understand how much I hate this company, right? Maybe that's for another video. But Royal Canin, this is...
it's the best.
There's only a few companies that actually make this stuff, isn't there?
There is a few, but this is the best. It's as close as you can get to Mum's milk. The main ingredient in the... Sounds silly, doesn't it?
What?
The main ingredient is colostrum, which is in the Mum's milk naturally, and you can't create that, so this is as
close as you're going to get. So in each thing comes like 4 of these pouches, and in every one you get a bottle. I don't know why they can't just do like top-up ones where you just get the milk powder. Like, oh yeah, I've got 700 bottles now. Can you just maybe just send us the milk powder? No, we'll charge you. Right. Anyway, we discovered the sort of best method early on for like the sort of first couple of days is like just basically a little plastic syringe,
because especially the first kitten, we don't even know if he even had a feed from his mother. They don't know anything. They don't have any muscles or anything. So the tiny syringe and literally just droplets into their mouth until they get a taste of it. With the other kittens, it was great because they'd already been with Mum, so they kind of knew the basics. But when they do eventually move on to a bottle, the Royal Canin, the teat on it's quite soft, which I've used before and I've had success with before, but the bottles that we're currently using are
So these
Much
we
better.
found on Amazon. Basically, they're very, very, very cheap. They've got them with a little plastic nib, and you get a pack of like 10 of them.
A few
They've
of
got
you actually
measurements.
got us packs, so we're really grateful.
Yeah, so, but these we've just found to the best. The angle's
Yeah.
really good for feeding us. We'll put some video of us doing the feeding part, but these are exceptional until you move on to the sort of bigger bottles and the bigger teats and stuff. We've just found these to be absolutely perfect. So that's it for sort of the feeding until we get into the sort of weaning stage. But the other things you really need, obviously comfort and warmth is a massive part for cats. This is just a little battery operated heartbeat. It just pulses. You can get them in stuffed toys sometimes or special ones, but also you can just put this under like a blanket or a cover. This just mimics the mum's heartbeat so that it settles the kittens down. And obviously keeping them nice and warm is massively important. For some weird reason, we're actually having sunshine in this country at the moment, so we're enjoying that. But this is just a microwavable heat plate that goes under all the blankets and stuff, because obviously temperature is a massive thing, right?
They can't regulate their body temperature until they're 6 weeks old, so it is the biggest killer of kittens is being cold. So it's really, really important to always make sure that there's a heat disc. If you don't, a hot water bottle is not recommended, but if you've nothing else, as long as it's well covered.
And like in the winter, you could use something like an incubator if you have that
Yes,
sort of
that's
means
the aim. We want to give it an incubator.
For the winter,
someday.
it's definitely because it's obviously that has heat sensors. It regulates the heat specifically. So one day, like
That's the
that would
dream.
be, especially in the winter, that's an improved solution. But yeah, there's plenty of sort of small products you like to sort of stuffed animal in the bed with them as well, just to mimic the
Definitely,
mum,
yeah.
don't
Just
you?
a bit of comfort for them, especially with the heartbeat and then the heat disc as well. It really comforts them and settles them well.
Okay, so I do want to say before, like obviously talking about all this, it is very hard to keep newborn kittens alive, right? They don't, even with their mother, they don't have a 100% success rate. So if you are doing this as a vocation, as a passion, or helping out charity, you sadly will have casualties. And even if you do everything perfectly, so it's not like obviously you want to make sure you're doing everything right, but sometimes it just happens. It will happen. It does happen. It's just,
It's one of those things. The hundreds of kittens that I've looked after over the years, like my old house, it's like a burial garden. My old
she only had a little
garden.
bit of garden, so
And
it's like every square inch was.
and it's horrible, but it's literally nothing you can do. It's one of the hardest things. That's what we were saying. We had the puppies. It was so much easier with the puppies.
Yeah.
They're just so much more resilient.
Because dogs are better.
No. So the kittens are just delicate, and it's just very difficult. So if you do get a kitten and you're helping or doing this, don't be hard on yourself if anything happens.
Just make sure you're doing everything right, and then that's all you can. That's all you can do. So obviously, the other thing about cats obviously is normally the mum is the cleaner of the kittens, right? She will constantly be cleaning them. She will constantly be cleaning the pee off and encouraging them to pee. So how do we deal with that as a human?
So mum cleans around the bum, helps stimulate for peeing and pooing. So for us as foster mums,
As much as I love cats, I'm not licking around the bottom area.
So we basically take a baby wipe or a piece of tissue like warm water just to kind of emulate mum cleaning, licking, and that will help peeing.
Yeah, do the little wiggle
do
thing
like
with
Shakira
it.
with the hips to get them moving, and it just comes. So
Yeah, but that's you're doing what you can. But they're kittens. If they feel like they need to pee or poo, they're just going to pee or poo. Yeah. So like the baby wipes ones you use, the careful what they call
extra sensitive, yeah.
Extra sensitive baby wipes are good. Obviously, lots of tissue and everything. But there's only so much you can do. We have like blanket. We have we just use one of those big plastic tubs initially for the cats because they're not really running about or anything. So big plastic tub with a puppy pad at the bottom just to catch any water, and then blankets and towels, and then a heartbeat sensor, one of these. But you will go through a lot every day. You'll need to replace your towels and your blankets and stuff to sort of try and keep it clean. So go to a charity shop and buy a load of towels and blankets and stuff because you will go through them like crazy.
Because pooing as well, it's just when you feed, after a feed, we would get them to go to the toilet, and it's always a pee, but they will poo whenever they want. That's just the way it is. We've had several episodes over the past couple of days where there's
bit
been
of poo heads and stuff.
Someone had a poo hat.
Yeah.
And I had a bath hole because his legs were really bad. It's really not recommended to bath unless you're experienced, because again the cold can be lethal to them.
Yeah, it's not so much the bath itself, it's the you can only dry them so much before they've got to be kept warm as they're drying, obviously, so they don't get a chill.
So that's a constant struggle, but that'll go. And we did notice there just earlier about half an hour ago.
Oh yeah, with the one on the cleaning themselves.
Starting to clean himself, which is great. Which is a great sign.
Really good. So. Yeah, because they've all got all the four have all their eyes open now and stuff. So, and Molly, the individual one, is still probably a couple of days away or so.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about the sort of next steps. Obviously, we have them in a plastic tub now, but what's the next steps in regards to house and food, and what do we do next?
Okay. So probably within the next couple of weeks, we will see a lot more movement. They're already moving loads at the minute and crawling, so they will be starting to try and use their legs. So we will be moving them into like a tent. We have a pet tent. It's quite big, but as long as it's covered and kind of padded with blankets and stuff, so they can move about, and if they fall, it's fine. That'll be the next thing. So yeah.
And when do you introduce like a litter tray in the corner?
That'll be about 3 weeks. So another couple of weeks. That will be the next step, especially when they're able to move around and stuff. It's actually really, really easy to litter train them. Their instinct just kicks in so well. So usually we would put bits of the toilet paper with their pee on it, or a wee poo or something in there. We would stick it in so they can get the scent. But as we know with kittens, they do like to eat litter sometimes. That's always fun.
Is there a special kitten litter?
There is, but I think it's worse because it's really fine and really tiny.
So it's almost like more edible, if anything.
Exactly.
Okay,
But then the bigger one, the wood stuff we use for our boys, it's too big and it'll be quite
so sort of standard litter sort of size.
Basic litter,
would be good and stuff. So so there's lots to do. Like what we can do, if you guys want it, let us know, is that we can do a follow-up video in sort of 3 or 4 weeks when so after the milk stage we go on to the moose stage, right?
Moose, yes.
The watered down moose stage.
Yeah. I wonder if we can get Royal Canin to sponsor this video for
us.
No. So we go on to the Royal Canin.
It's Royal Canin again.
Kitten moose. Again, there's not a lot of products on the market for kittens, and whatever there is, it's really expensive.
Because it's just not enough a needed product. Not many people need to feed
because
newborn
obviously
kittens.
You can get the kitten food in like Sainsbury's, whatever the Whiskas.
But that's like the next step food, isn't it?
That's not suitable for kittens under 6 weeks at all. So we get a mousse, and basically we mix it with the milk to make like a soup. And then I would kind of spoon feed them just so they get the taste and just so they get used to like not sucking on a bottle anymore. And that they usually take on to that really well. It's just like when they start the bottle, they don't know what to do. So it's just.
And then it gradually becomes less milky and more moussey until you're full mousse.
Until you're full mousse, and then.
And then how long full mousse?
That is usually up to about 6 weeks of age, and then you can.
And then you'd have a separate dish of water.
Yes. So you can still give milk as a treat, which we do.
She does.
Our cats have milky bedtime, so they have milky, and they know.
They're not spoiled. That's the good thing.
You shout milky, they know what it means. So I personally would still give, especially the kittens, but you don't have to. As long as they have access to water, it's fine.
Yeah, and then about sort of how long are they on the mousse for?
Up until they're 6 weeks old,
okay,
and then you can gradually. Then you can move over, but you need to mix like the.
So let's say if you had kitten food,
you can. So you could do like a bit of Whiskas in with the mousse, and then kind of half the next day, and kind of just. Slowly until there's no.
And you can even mash it because obviously the kitten food is like a finer chunky, but you can mash it with a fork if you want to, so there's no chunks, just so they get used to the transition a little bit easier.
And then around 6 weeks as well, you can introduce dry, but only kitten dry because the pebbles are small, so it'll be easier for them. But I don't really like doing that until they're about 8
it's quite a
to 9
jump.
weeks.
It feels quite a jump just naturally, isn't it? Like milk into mousse into dry biscuits seems quite a jump.
A lot of the packets will say from 6 weeks, but I would be scared, so I don't really do that until they're ready.
So if you want to keep up to date with more, Emma posts supposedly weekly on Patreon with updates on the cats and everything, and that helps us support, that helps us pay for all the equipment, it helps us pay Royal Canin good money for their products. I might have to make a rant video about Royal Canin, by the way.
The last time we were with our vets, he had her in like a...
Oh, I had the vet. I was like, did you... Excuse me, did you know? They know. The vets know. It's just doesn't matter. I'm not getting into it. Stop trying to set me off just because they get a bigger percentage. Right, Right. But yeah, we will make sort of a follow-up video as well. But if you do want to support what we do here and stuff, it's not cheap. You can support us on Patreon and get updates with all the animals and stuff. Our plan is to, we're doing a fundraiser at the moment as well. That our plan is to, later this year, is to get some sort of outbuilding. We were sort of thinking of like a caravan, just buying a good second-hand caravan and basically parking it in the garden to have somewhere that we can regulate and have somewhere that's like a follow-on if we need a mum cat that needs some space or some older kittens that need their own space, that sort of thing. So you can help us support there. All the links are in the description and stuff. I think that's about it.
Thank you so much for all the support you've given us.
Yeah,
anyway,
like we've
we appreciate so much.
You've done a lot for us already. We did that big the wish list thing we did a couple of years ago. Yeah. That's literally where we got these bottles. We still have
stuff that we haven't even opened. Yeah. It's just that you so much. It was great.
Yeah, so we might do another one for blankets soon. So just beware. But yeah, we are very passionate about this, and this is what we currently. So with the 5, we currently have 11 cats and 1 dog.
Numbers don't lie. I want a puppy, but you said no. So.
Yes, because we got 11 cats. we made an agreement. Obviously, we're not going to get rid of. Obviously, 5 of them are temporary anyway. Yeah. Supposedly 6 of them.
Oh,
let's not get into that.
Not staying.
It's not staying. We agreed that we would go down to, what was it, 3 cats and 2 dogs as our permanent residents. Like that's the, but. We're not going to ship them out, so we just have to, But
we're not getting any younger, so we may enjoy having as many animals as possible while we still can.
Yeah, but the more animals we have, the less rescuing we can do.
No.
So therefore, the more animals technically we have, the worse people we are.
You keep telling that, sure.
Well, we can't do more rescues, can we? If we had more space.
We've literally 5 kittens.
Yeah, but what if another 5 come in? We're like, oh no.
We'll make room.
Yeah, we need to survive as well.
You can sleep in the garage. They can sleep with me.
Right, anyway, we're going to have this domestic offline. But again, thank you so much for all the support and stuff. Hope you liked this style of video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a question.
If it was boring, I'm sorry.
Yeah, give Emma some love because she was very scared about coming on to a video and stuff. It is a very weird thing for normal people to just record themselves. So thank you so much for doing that. I love you. So we'll see you in the next one. Drop a comment, leave a like and all that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
Nice, smashed it. Easy. On survivors, and when you get into it, you don't really think.
No, you
you're
don't
not really thinking about it.